I'm Damien Walters.
Easy Now Live Wire here.
Easy Now JME here.
If you missed the live stream we did on Thursday night, here's part 2.
Damien, quick question. Moshing on Twitter has asked, Damien, what's the worst injury that has happened to you?
Worst injury, I would say dislocated my knee and my ankle in one go.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was that on?
That was on a movie I did actually on Skyfall.
Yeah, a new James Bond.
Yeah, the new James Bond.
Dislocated your knee and your ankle?
Yeah.
All at once, like, gone, or knee and then obviously...
Yeah, it wasn't like a Benny Hill sketch that I kind of did one and carried on.
I'm so dumb, I know, I was going to ask that just now.
No, it was in one go, yeah.
So that's pretty painful.
Yeah, I had to drop out of this window, and as I did it, just landed on the airbag wrong and both gone.
Did you land two up? You're supposed to land on your back, right?
You're supposed to land on your back, yeah. And when I had to hit a ledge, and as I span off, couldn't right myself enough, and then just came down feet first, and just twisted my ass.
So what do you have to, when you dislocate a joint, someone has to...
Well, luckily the ankle only came partially out.
Yeah. I know, it's saying it like it's nothing, it's still out.
Yeah.
And they have to thing it back.
Yeah, well, to be fair, it was very lucky. I had the knee support on as well, so the knee support, as they pulled the knee support off, the kneecap went back into place.
Makes it sound easy.
And the ankle had to be manipulated.
So how did you get into being a stuntman?
It's weird. I never wanted to be a stuntman. Never really had any other ambitions in life apart from to be world champion at tumbling, which is a gymnastic sort of discipline, which is where I started. I mean, I started that started gymnastics when I was about 8, and then started to sort of specify more in tumbling when I was about 13, 14.
For those that don't know what tumbling is,
it's basically, like the gymnastic floor,
yeah,
with all the somersaults and stuff. It's basically that being a long strip. So basically, I started specialising in that, and then started competing for Great Britain when I was 17, 18, and then basically just took it from there. Really, just kept going to world championships, and was world champion of the team. Was world champion of the team in 2003, and then I was World Cup champion in 2004, and then European champion. Yeah, it's basically all that sort of stuff happened. And then from there, I just sort of started. I'd watched the free running side, I watched all the breakdancing side of things. I'd seen all that sort of stuff, and it was just. The thing that intrigued me most was gymnastics is very sort of one-dimensional. You've got, you do things like this and you land like this and you do that.
Yeah.
And it never really sort of fit very well with me. I always like to sort of explore it.
Your own style and do your own.
Yeah, just explore it a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? Like sort of say, okay, well, you can twist like that. Can I twist in this angle? Can I do this? And so basically that's why it got to me. Sort of experimenting more with it, rather than just being that one-dimensional side. And then, so I started making the videos from that, trying to do different things. And then it was my first video in 2006, I think it was. Yeah, I put out my very first video in 2006.
Uploaded publicly?
Yeah, onto YouTube. And then it was when YouTube first came out. And then I had a phone call from one of Jackie Chan's lead stunt coordinators called Brad Allen.
Cool.
And he just called me up and he just said, I've seen your video on YouTube. Would you like to be in a movie?
Straight off the back of the video?
Yeah. Thought it was a joke, to be fair.
I did the same thing and I messaged him on YouTube and said, can I come and train with you?
Seriously?
Yeah.
Off the back of the video?
Off his video. I didn't message him on YouTube. He didn't reply to anything, but he was local and his
So, as I said, like, if there was a way to become a stuntman, the way you went about it first, obviously got a lot of practice in, years, and then you put a video out, and off the back of the video,
Yeah, that was it.
Stunts, was it? It was just
it was just,
around in the gym.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was kind of like I was just playing around the gym and all that sort of stuff. And it was luckily the film that they were doing, which is called Hellboy 2. They sort of needed somebody with the requirements that I could have.
Yeah.
And they sort of invited me over. And then from that, he just said, I'd like to teach you the ways to do it. And then he took me to Canada and America and all that sort of stuff. And then basically I just stayed with him and learned how to be a stuntman, really. And then just went from there to there and different people, really.
Okay. Damien Walters, we've got something to show the people of yours.
Yeah.
Can we comment?
This is classic.
This is classic material.
17 million views. Run the VT.
Right. Can run the VT. Can they see it down here?
Director's cut. Talking about it.
Can they see it down here somewhere?
Yeah.
Look, all right, we're good.
That's me.
There you go. There's Damien.
That's actually the top of our gym. So that's where the gymnastics centre is.
Crazy. Where's that in
Derby?
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the gym as well. Our gym's actually on top of a multi-storey car park.
Surprising.
Which is a bit strange, isn't it? Yeah. But that's me.
Some people may have seen some of these clips individually, because I've seen some of these clips as GIF images and stuff on the internet.
The one
I swear to God.
Jumps through a butthole.
Yeah, I've seen all of them on the internet. And they're all you.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen a couple. I didn't really know that they'd done that.
The Get Into Bed one, I've seen that one. On
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically,
That was
I mean, like,
tough.
obviously all these things, they just take practice, and it's, like you said to Tim earlier, it's just one of those things that you just keep going and going and going at it until, you know, something looks pretty cool, really.
But most of the things I'm seeing you're doing here are not like straightforward textbook moves, if you know what I'm saying? It's like you've put a spin.
That's why he's
On
got
it.
17 million views on it.
Yeah, this one especially, I mean, that one where I just grabbed the car there, I mean, that was actually filmed at work on a film I did called 47 Ronin in the lunch break, which my boss wasn't very happy with when he found out. So, yeah, he basically, we sort of did that, and, you know, all these little things are just different setups. And that's the thing why it takes so long to do, because you want to sort of give people something that they've not seen before. Do you know what I mean? And that's the hard thing to do, is to try and think of something as creative as possible, really. It was like, you know, it's just trying to keep it new, I suppose.
And they all look pretty much very high risk as well.
I filmed
Yeah.
this one. That was me shooting.
Yeah, it's Tim, you're right.
On a terrible
In fact,
low
you even
quality.
see you in the bottom corner
Yeah,
there,
dragging along
just
the-
dragging along a little
Yeah.
trolley.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was the
that's the ball. Well, yeah, so yeah, it's like I say, they all take practice, but nothing's particularly that hard when you start, you know, when you sort of break it down and spend enough time on it, really. You know, if you've got a basic understanding of all, you know, all your gymnastic skills, then, you know, you've only got to sort of open yourself up to a little bit, and then
Creativity,
you can,
isn't it?
creativity, that's it.
What did you want to be when you were both younger? What did you want to be when you were
Yeah,
Taller.
that's me.
Seriously?
Yeah, and a tree climber. I don't know.
Seriously?
I thought there was a point I wanted to be a fireman or a tree surgeon, something like that.
A tree surgeon?
Yeah.
Are you being serious?
Well, you just got to climb trees then, don't you?
Oh, I didn't know a tree surgeon was real.
Yeah.
I thought you meant a tree. I thought I can
No,
imagine
that's a real job.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I wanted to be this breakdancer and things like that, but I didn't know you could do it as a career. I wanted to be what I am now, but I didn't know it existed. If I'd had known it existed, I would have wanted to be. This. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly this. I think I'm living the dream life of what my childhood wanted to be. So, what about you?
For me, I never really had any other ambitions, like I said before, just to be world champion. I only ever saw myself tumbling. I didn't want to do anything else, didn't want to see anything else. And that's why it was kind of, even when I did the first film, I was kind of thinking, oh, I'll just go back into tumbling and carry on. And I sort of went back into it, and then the next film came along, and the next video came along, and I kept trying to go back into it, and I didn't really want to be one of those people that sort of slowly got worse and worse and worse. So I thought I'll just hang it up, and then, you know, carried on making the videos and went into films. That's kind of how I got into it, really. It was kind of one of those things that you just sort of dropped into it, if you excuse the pun.
Yeah, cool.
It's a terrible pun. as well.
Double backflipped into it.
I've got a good
Terrible.
question here because this is a question I would ask myself because I'm not a free runner. I don't do parkour, but I do have a bit of practice.
Yeah, Jamie comes with me to the gymnastics sometimes. He's learned backflips, round off backflips, front flips, swing gainers.
Few things.
He's mastered a few tricks.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this is serious though, because even I struggle with this as well. I don't know if there's a direct answer to it, but I'm going to ask.
Yeah.
Miles Grant asked, "What is the best way to overcome the mental barrier when learning a new move?"
Break it down. The best way to overcome, people always like, oh, you're fearless, you've got no fear. I have the same fear everyone else is born with. I've got it, but I've done enough practice and broken down the move, and I've done it enough. Like, fear goes away. Anything you're scared of until you try it, and then the fear you don't know where it disappears to, but it goes. So every move, you come up with a way of doing it safe, where you're not as afraid to do it, and you drill that. And eventually, one day you go to gymnastics and you're not scared of a move you were scared of last week. Like with gainers, that was one of the biggest ones I noticed for me, the way I had such a fear of it, and suddenly one week it wasn't there and I could do it outside.
Yeah.
It was just drilling it enough and then doing it in another environment enough. And then that was in the same it was like your gymnastics. I was doing it off the horse, and then I would do it off the beam, and just changing the environment made me comfortable that I could do it on a wall outside. And it's just breaking it down so that you can just do it anywhere, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean that I would say that's the biggest thing is that people get wrong. It's the understanding of moves. Yeah, if you understand something, you can make it happen. Yeah, and the more time you spend in trying to understand it, the better. I mean, that's the only reason I would say, for me personally, that I got as far as I ever did, and I assume for Tim as well, is that you have to break it down. If you're just one of those people that just want to throw things and go for it, you can do it, no problem. But you'll only ever get so far. You'll only ever get so far because you never got the full understanding of what the move is.
Your body's move, yeah.
Yeah, so you've got to spend the time. If you spend the time of breaking it down and thinking, right, that's how I do this, that's how I do that, that's how I do this, then you can build on things. If you never have a basis, you can never build on it. And I would say that's one of the most important things, is just, obviously belief's there. Yeah, you've got to be strong belief, and you've got to, be confident in yourself of what you can do. But if you don't understand the thing that you're doing, then you'll only ever get so far.
And you will never know when you're getting better at it as well.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good tip for me as well, because sometimes I'm stood there wanting to attempt something, and I'm like, I've done this last week, or I've done this before, and it's just a mental block that stops you from doing it. That's a good tip.
Another good thing as well is actually vision. A lot of people say they don't see anything when they're doing moves, but they actually do, and they'll always I don't look at anything, but you don't realise what you're actually picking up. And the more you can actually spend time, like I was telling Tim about his twisting the other day, the more you can spend time of figuring out what you do see and where you see it and what time you should see it, the better you'll get again. Because again, it's all spatial awareness. If you just when people go, I do things with my eyes closed, they don't. Yeah. They feel they do because they're just doing this, but your body can actually see things. And the more you spend time of watching it and going thinking, right, there's the floor, there's the thing, and that's the most important thing, is the floor. That's what's going to hit you when you go wrong. Yeah, you mess up, that's what's going to hit you. So if you don't know where that is, then that's a big problem, isn't it?
So the better vision you have, the more it will slow down in your head, and the easier it will become.
It will slow down
exactly, definitely.